All right, happy Friday. We're going to be talking about some really interesting things today. Glenn Stein, Realty Executives in the Villages, broker owner here. Hope everybody's doing well. And we're going to be talking about consumer confidence. As you can see in this chart, we're going to be looking at pricing. Are prices going down? What has happened in the Villages in the last 12 to 18 months? What are we seeing in the real estate market? And can you safely assume that this is a good time or a bad time to buy or sell? We're going to talk about today, and also want to remind everybody that we also do property management. We have several homes that are available for long term, and we have some availability for short term for people that are looking for seasonal type of properties. We get people that are looking for rentals like from middle of summer to the end of the year until they build or buy another home. They want to check out the area and everything in between. And we also do obviously management of rental properties. So if you have questions about that, 352-572-3796. This particular chart here, consumer confidence in home prices weakening towards the end of 2022. I'm bringing this up. I'm starting off with this because it's like, in real estate, obviously 2010 and then all the way through 2016, most people felt that home prices are probably not going to drop anymore. I think we're in pretty good shape. And then obviously as we hit 2018, the low was 2017, where people thought 94% of the people thought that home prices were going to go up. 6% thought there's going to be, it's going to go down. Then of course, towards the end of 2022, 37% of the people out there, and it might even be bigger than that, felt that prices were going to come down. And it seemed like those people were probably the loudest. So if you look at, social media or the news, everybody was predicting, market crash and that type of thing. And, to be fair, we did see an adjustment, in housing, which is, no big surprise, right? Like to see an adjustment in housing after the interest rates went from 2.5 to like 6.5 plus in a matter of months is not a shocking thing. There's not a big, revelation behind that. But how severe the residential market was going to be hit was a question. And if you look at national numbers, you'll notice that most of the trough in the marketplace was probably around latter part of 2022, the early part of this year. And what happened in the Villages was a little bit different because the Villages, we were actually kind of inverted, where the rest of Florida was really, really busy early part of the year, seasonal type of stuff. And the Villages was a little bit slow January, February, but March came in, and we've been really busy from March all the way up until this point. And I feel like this is one of the busier real estate markets we've had in the month of June. And obviously, we're going to see that in the month of July closings. Typically, and a lot of people don't realize this, June and July are one or the other, not usually both. One or the other is usually one of the busiest closing months in the whole year, which shocks a lot of people because they think, well, January, February, March, and not necessarily. So that's something to consider as well. But let's take a look at some of the things that we're actually seeing right now in the Villages that I think you're going to find. I think you're going to find very, very interesting. So let's take a look at. Let's see. Let's take a look at this particular screen here. Let me share this with you. Okay, I think you'll find this fascinating. So when we're looking at number of actually sales and actually sales price, there's some differences here. So let me share this. Let me get this up here. It's actually, I want to share a different slide with you, but you're going to see that when you're looking at the number of sales that have occurred in the beginning part of the year compared to what we're seeing over the last 4 months really, then there is a difference, right? Definitely seeing more properties on the market for sure, but definitely more properties that are actually selling. So let's see, let's pull this is what I want to show you here. Okay, so When we're looking at the last 5 years, the average sales price in the villages, you're looking at 2017, last 5 years, 2017, and blow this up so you can see this a little bit better. 2017, and then all the way through 2018, you're seeing gradual the prices going up, right? Like going from 5 years ago in the mid 200s, 250,000, which was you can find the typical, and this is the average, right? So it's like you can find a patio villa, 200,000 and below. And then of course you had other homes you might have found like an Amarillo for around 200 or 225. And then, as you go up, what maybe a Lantana would have been, 300 plus at that point. Now you can look at it where it's at now in 2023, average sales price over 400,000. So we're seeing a really big increase over the last 5 years. And this gives you an idea of what exactly happened in the marketplace. Let's look at on a monthly basis. It gives you a little bit of a different look as far as what the chart looks like, right? Shows you very, very well, almost like a stock chart of where prices were. You saw 2018, actually prices were over 300,000. This is on a monthly basis. And, it's going up and down, but, it's like you can see the line here. It's a gradual line up until you're hitting, you're seeing a peak all the way in early part of last year. So let's take a look at the data, right? And the data tells us that 2018, 286 in January of 2018, 416 in 2023. The average sales price was higher. If you look at the high of last year, 439,000 back in August of last year, right? So average sales price has gone down, but certainly we're not looking at a market crash. Like you're seeing a leveling off period. So a little bit of a dip for sure. And then of course, a dip into, December of 2022, and then an increase into 2023. Now, something else to look at. So that's average sales price. So something else that we really need to consider is what is inventory doing? Because inventory will tell us which way the direction of the marketplace is going right at the moment. Sold properties those are lagging indicators. So usually you're looking at about, 90 days after the fact, and sometimes 120 when you're looking at sold properties and stats like this. The active properties right now, we're like 350 something properties on the market right now. Let me give you an accurate number on that. I'm going to pull it up as we speak. We were really pushing a couple of months ago, we were pushing 400, right? Early part, when I was telling you the beginning part of this year, January, February, before it really picked up again in the villages, we were seeing it looked like we were going to, match our number of properties on the market, very similar to what we saw just after the pandemic, where we hit, peaks of like 451 properties for sale. And it looked like we're heading in that direction. So inventory is really accumulating. And it was possible that some people thought, okay, well, maybe all the naysayers about the marketplace, all the doomsdayers, were right about what was going on. But the reality is, we're looking at 356 properties on the market right now. So 356, that tells you, we were going not straight through the roof, but we had a significant incline in the number of properties for sale, and it looked like we're hitting 400 plus, but then it's come down to now 356. So we're seeing a very normal marketplace, probably a very even marketplace to either buy or sell, but very, very fair. I'm seeing the best properties sell fast. The properties that are not priced right, no big surprise, are sitting on the market a little bit, and then we're seeing price reductions. So that's why we're seeing, you might be hearing about price reductions and price decreases. Overall, the market is it's holding, right? It's been, I think, fortified and buttressed by the demand. There's enough demand out there where prices have come down a bit, but they haven't plummeted. So if you have questions, let me know. Leave your questions in the chat, or you can call me. You can text me as well. If you're looking for a rental, that's good too. Or if you've got a home that you want to put in our management program, if you have questions about the market, we'll have our market updates for second quarter booklet that'll be ready in a couple of weeks, as soon as June is over with, which is just around the corner. And I hope everybody that is in the north, we've got a lot of clients from the Pittsburgh area and Chicago and Midwest that are going through all that smoke from the Canadian fires. So if you want to hear your comments, if you're in there, how bad is it, or how okay is it? I'd like to hear your comments, like to hear from you. So questions, let me know, and happy 4th of July to everybody.